Good morning. I'm Laura Seidel, and as the voice said, I'm the digital culture correspondent for NPR. And I'm interested today in hearing about this new operating system that dared to enter a world dominated by Android and iOS. And I was just talking to a few people and saying I like the name, Tizen. It sort of sounds like a martial art, and it has a nice ring. So one of the interesting parts about reporting on technology is watching the development of something new and seeing how it impacts the market. And sometimes big hits start with small things. And even if it isn't a hit, it often changes things. So today we're going to hear about Tizen and how it can be used to develop apps and products. And I know you're all interested in the art of doing that with Tizen. And I'm interested in hearing how they may differ from what's being created already. So first up to talk about this, we have Mark Skarpness. He's the Director of Systems Engineering at Intel, a company I know is interested in increasing its presence in the mobile world. Please welcome Mark Skarpness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Laura, and good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second Tizen Developer Conference. We've got some great things to tell you this morning about Tizen and the work that we've all been doing. But before we get started, I thought I'd share a little story with you that reminds me why we're doing Tizen and what it's all about. So I have a daughter, Anna. You can see her picture up here. She's 5.5 now. But I remember really well when she was about 2, she got a hold of my smartphone, and she immediately figured out how to use it, how to navigate back and forth using the touch screen, how to find the apps she wanted and launch them. And from that moment on, she just assumed that any device with a bright, shiny screen worked that way. So one day, my wife and I were watching television, I think watching some video on demand, and Anna saw a device with a bright, shiny screen, and it had some icons on it of shows she wanted to watch. And she walked up to it and started poking at the screen to watch what she wanted. And she was so mad when it didn't do what she wanted it to do. And when I think about why we're doing Tizen, it's not just about the devices of today, the phones and the tablets, but it's about all of the devices of the future, the televisions, the cars, and all of these devices that are going to be connected to the internet going forward. Tizen is all about creating an open platform that can bring that world to reality. That's what it's all about. So we're going to give you some updates today on the ecosystem and all of the work that we've been doing to get ready for the first generation of Tizen products. A lot of things have been done, and you'll get to hear all about the work that's getting ready for those first products. And then I know you're all really interested to hear more about when can you actually buy a Tizen device? And when can you start selling your applications into a world of Tizen devices? So I've got a couple of guests who are going to come up and talk about that, talk about the work that they're doing to bring Tizen products to reality. And then finally, we'll talk about what's coming next. We're already at work on the next Tizen platform. We'll give you some updates on that, and also how you can get involved in shaping and creating the future for Tizen. So first, starting with the ecosystem. I'm very happy to say that the Tizen 2.1 release is done. It's been released. It was released over the weekend, and it's available on tizen.org. We have the platform source code, as well as the SDK that goes with it. It's there for you to download and get started doing platform development, doing your application development. In terms of features, we've been working on adding additional HTML5 APIs to round out the API set that you have for building your applications. Make sure you have all of the APIs that you need. We've added a rich new home screen experience to the reference UI that takes advantage of HTML5-based widgets that you can use in the home screen or you can use in your applications. And of course, we've been doing tons of performance optimizations. We've made hundreds and hundreds of bug fixes to create a Tizen 2.1 platform that's ready to be built into products and that's ready for you to develop your applications against. So to tell you more about the Tizen 2.1 work and the great features that are there, I'd like to welcome JD Choi from Samsung to the stage.
About a year ago, we released Tizen 1.0. Since then, we have improved Tizen quite a lot. The execution speed has gotten much faster, the memory footprint has gotten much smaller, and we have added quite a few exciting new features to Tizen in areas such as the web, the ID, the UX, and the security. Tizen 2's support for W3C HTML5 is the best among all the browsers, scoring 492 out of 500 at HTML5 test.com benchmark site. Tizen 2 also supports thanks a lot. Tizen 2 also supports WebKit tools, multiple process model, ensuring very smooth user experience and enhanced security. Tizen 2 also supports polish something called content protection security mechanism. The mechanism supports there is some changes in the order, but I'm going to follow this. Okay. It supports something called Content Security Policy 1.0, also known as CSP. The CSP support in Tizen will mitigate attacks from something called cross-site scripting. Tizen 1 supported only the web applications. Tizen 2 now supports the web application and also native applications written in C and C++. Furthermore, Tizen 2 supports something called hybrid apps, consisting of web components and native components together put in a single application, allowing for very powerful and flexible combinations of the two. Tizen's Web ID also supports very rapid development support through incremental uploading of modified components. And it also supports various enhancements to the web UI builder, such as absolute layout on screen. Tizen 2's support with native application comes with a very powerful native ID with a very comprehensive suite of features for supporting development of native applications. One of the very nice and unique features of Tizen 2 is something called drop view of Tizen's dynamic bar. As you can see from the screen, a dynamic box on Tizen usually shows the essential or the latest information by the app, such as the current temperature. When you flick down the dynamic box, however, a hidden area called drop view opens up, and it can show more detailed information, or it can initiate more interactions with the user. It's a very nice and unique feature that we have added to Tizen 2. Tizen 2 also supports for security antivirus framework with APIs for pluggable antivirus engine and scan functions. And Tizen 2 is now fully SMAC enabled, allowing or denying accesses to system resources by applications based on each application's privileges. And I was on this stage a year ago, and I'm now on this stage again, and I feel very excited to be here and to declare to you that Tizen is very real, and Tizen is ready to be deployed to the product. Tizen-based products will come out very soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, JD. It was great to hear the updates on the features and the devices that are going to be coming this year. So, of course, in addition to having the Tizen 2.1 platform and SDK, we need an app store. And I'm excited to announce today that the Tizen App Store is open for business. We have the seller portal, which if you're an app developer is the place you can go and register and start submitting your apps. It's open at seller.tizenstore.com. You can go and register there today. And this is the place where you'll submit your Tizen applications not only for the first generation of products coming this year, but also for all of the future Tizen products. So this is the common Tizen store that will support Tizen devices going into the future. So I'd really encourage you, if you're an app developer, to go register and get ready for that. Of course, in addition to having the store, we need to have apps in the store. And we've been working on bringing in some of the current top apps into the Tizen store. I know when I get a new device, there are certain applications that I just expect to be there, things that I use every day. Applications like Facebook, like Twitter, like Angry Birds. I like to play Angry Birds. So we've been working with those current top app providers to bring their applications into the Tizen store so they're ready for the first generation of Tizen devices as they come to market. But of course, it's not just about the top apps of today. We're really excited to work with you to help you create one of tomorrow's top apps. Tizen gives you a unique opportunity to get great visibility for your application and to become one of those must-have apps that everyone's going to be talking about next year. So I'd love to see your app icon in that list the next time we talk about Tizen together. And to help you do that, we've been working with the top cross-platform tool creators. You heard from AppBacker last night if you were at the panel, and the exchange that they have, which helps to match up applications with stores. We've also been working with Appcelerator, with Sencha, with the Apache Cordova project, which is the upstream for PhoneCap, so that you have those tools that you're probably using already today fully supporting Tizen, so you can use them to bring your applications across and into the Tizen store. Of course, gaming is a critical usage, and here we're working with the top game engines and game tools providers to add Tizen support to their tools. So if you're using those tools today, you can bring your games across into Tizen. We heard from Havoc and Yo-Yo Games and Game Salad last night at the panel, and you'll hear from Unity later this morning. All of these companies are working on adding Tizen support to their tools and have that in place so that you can then use them to either bring across your current games that use those tools, and of course to develop new games using those tools, fully supporting Tizen. And to get your competitive juices flowing and give you some extra incentive to build those Tizen apps, I'm really excited to announce that we have the Tizen App Challenge. We'll have $4 million in prizes spread across an array of app categories where you can submit and compete for those prizes, as well as some great grand prizes. And in addition to the cash prizes, this is also a great opportunity to get exposure for your application. Tizen is a new platform, and you can become one of the first applications in the Tizen store and on these first Tizen devices. You won't have to work through all of the noise of the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of apps. You can be one of the first great applications in Tizen. In order to compete in the Tizen App Challenge, you do need to be registered as a seller. So I would encourage you to go register at seller.tizenstore.com today. And the contest itself actually starts on June 1st. So you have some time to get ready and think about the apps that you're going to submit. And you can learn more about it at tizenappchallenge.com. Of course, we want to help you get started building your apps. So we have a dev lab that's actually happening tomorrow afternoon. So for those of you that are able to attend that, you will get a Tizen reference device. We have about 500 of those, so they'll be available on a first-come, first-served basis. You'll get a device, and you'll also get trained by some of the top Tizen developer experts on how to do your app development and go through the whole application development process. If you're not able to make it to the lab tomorrow, don't worry. You can get everything you need with the Tizen SDK. Download that at tizen.org. It has all of the tools you need, a full-featured emulator that you can use to test your apps, and everything you need to get ready to compete in the app challenge and submit your apps into the Tizen store. And finally, a few words on HTML5. You know, if you've been following the work that we've been doing in Tizen over the last year plus, we've been focused on HTML5 as our primary application API. And we believe that HTML5 is absolutely the right API set to build applications that scale across a broad range of devices and can support devices going into the future. It has great performance. It's something we've been working very hard on in Tizen to deliver the most compatible HTML5 platform and the highest performing HTML5 platform in the world. And we've made great progress against that goal with Tizen 2.1. So with that update on the ecosystem and the work that we've been doing to get ready for the first products, now it's time to learn more about those. And I know you're all excited to hear about this. So to start off with, I'm really happy to welcome Roy Sugimura to the stage from NTT Docomo to tell you about the work they're doing with Tizen for mobile. So Roy?
Okay. So thank you, Mark. So good morning, everyone. But why I'm here is that, as you know, now platform is ready, and App Store is ready. Also, there are some good, maybe the prize-winning scheme for you, everyone, to have a good application. So why not have a real commercial product? So last year, I remember that Docomo had expressed a very sincere interest in Tizen, but at that moment, we have no product. But now, I'd like to inform that Docomo will launch our first commercial product in second half of this year, reality. So you'll get commercial product. But why? Why Docomo is so interested in this product? It's coming from fact that our wish to have some service freedom first. Because, as you know, Docomo itself is a service-centric company in Japan, and we wish to provide many type or every type of diversity and variety of kind of service to you, end users. In order to realize this wish, we need to have some flexibility of the platform and service, together with some global schemes that can be applied to not only for Japan, of course, all over the world, and also we wish to have some diversity of the products. That means this is the mobile is the first application. However, that can be, that should be extended to many variety kind of device, like a digital TV, or maybe the IVR. Many devices are there. And we are a service-centric company. We wish to provide such kind of variety of service as much as possible. So this is the rationality why Docomo is very excited. So HTML5 will be a very centric scheme for us to evolve. So please give us a very good application. And in that case, anyway, Tizen is also the very flexible and friendly and operator-friendly platform, I hope. But not only this, we are very excited to have Tizen because this is related with my personal feeling, but the Tizen is not give and take platform. Tizen is give and given, or give and receive platform. That means we have no intention to take away something from you. We just give all effort to you, together with Tizen project gentlemen, my friends. So application developers and your friends, I expect to receive something wow that will exceed our expectation. This is our wish for you, and in order to realize that, we strongly believe that the Tizen platform will give you a variety of chance to reach to not just for the mobile, but other devices, not just for the regional, but all over the world. This is our wish. And now, 2013, we try to begin our commercial product. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Roy. It's really exciting to see you bringing Tizen products to market starting this year in the second half. So, as I said earlier, and as I'm sure you've seen, Tizen isn't just about mobile. It's about creating an open platform that can span multiple device categories. And I think one of the most exciting categories is the automotive segment with the in-vehicle infotainment systems. This is the system in your car that gives you the navigation data and entertainment. Maybe you have some rear seat systems. And if you think back traditionally how these systems were built, they were really purpose-built. The car maker thought of a usage they wanted to enable. They spent a few years building a system, and it did that one usage really well. But it couldn't do anything else. And if you've had this experience, I know I have, as you've gotten smartphones and tablets, you want your car to do some of the same things. You want it to have internet access and maybe some applications. And Tizen provides a great platform, an open platform, a scalable platform to build these new and exciting and scalable IVI systems. And one of the leaders in taking advantage of this is Jaguar Land Rover. So I'm really happy to have Matt Jones here today from Jaguar Land Rover to tell you more about what they're doing with Tizen for IVI. So Matt?
Thanks, Mark. Thank you. Hello, welcome. Thank you. So I'm going to talk to you today. I'm going to take a step back. How many people in the room drive cars? Yeah, it's quite a few. And every time you get into your vehicle, you listen to the radio, you listen to the satellite radio, you connect your iPad, your iPod, and you interact with your navigation system. And actually, moving forwards, one of the major elements of a vehicle is that IVI system. Now, where we are in 2013, we don't really have so many expectations of an IVI system. In reality, what we have is expectations of a connected world. Back in 2011, we asked the customer base of Jaguar Land Rover and other vehicles, what do you want from an IVI system? And they said, we want HD displays, just like the Samsung television I have in my living room. We want improved voice control, like the Siri system or the Nuance engines that I'm used to using on my Apple and Google devices. I want it to be connected. I want telematics. I want to know where my car is, what it's doing at all times, just like I can use Find My iPhone or other applications. They wanted connected navigation, so they could get the Urban Spoon applications and the Yelp reviews for the restaurants integrated with their navigation systems. And they wanted an app store. Now we said, an app store? Okay, this is interesting. What do you want from an app store? And I said, I want the App Store to be like the Android App Store and the iOS App Store, and like the Tizen App Store will be shortly. But how many of those apps do you want to use in your vehicle? Oh, I don't really know. And here's the crunch. We said to them then, and this was a stupid question with hindsight, but I'm good at stupid questions if you know me. What do you want in 2014? And just like Mark's already alluded to, they didn't know. They didn't have a clue. And we backed off the 2014 and we said, what do you want from the next app you buy from the next app store you use? What do you think the next killer app will be? And they had no idea. And this was a really enlightening moment for Jaguar Land Rover and the industry in general, in that we need to concentrate on building a base platform that enables expansion, enables the future innovative ideas from you, the apps development community, to run in vehicle as well as on mobile device and as well as on the rest of the Internet of Things. So our mission from this was to understand how we can do that, how we can help you and others to openly innovate on these platforms. Now, Linux in vehicles is not new. This is a really important message as well. It's been around for a long time. If you can buy the Cadillac Q system today, that's based on Linux. If you buy the Geneva-compliant BMW 3 Series this year, that's based on Linux. And it's actually in millions of vehicles as we speak. But going forward, it's expanding more and more rapidly. The uptake of HTML5 in vehicles is going through the roof. And this is really important that it helps me as an OEM to meet my customers' expectations of having a smart device car, and it helps you by opening up the ecosystem. So what have we done? Jaguar Land Rover, working with Intel, working with the Linux Foundation and automotive-grade Linux, have built a completely free platform based on Tizen 1.0, using Node.js, with a HTML5-based graphical user interface, with a server backend to push-pull applications, complete documentation. And we've released that across the planet. It's had about 4,000 downloads in the last 4 weeks. Has the complete documentation, the wiki, everything to support that. And we launched a competition with automotive-grade Linux for who can do the best additional feature, who can change the user experience, who can come up with the best graphical concepts. And we're announcing the results of that at ALS, Automotive Linux Summit, next week in Japan. But the important bit for this, we've got this platform now that you can go and download from automotive-grade Linux today. But it doesn't stop there. We're going to migrate it to Tizen 2.1 and make full use of that fantastic web runtime engine. We're going to migrate it to Tizen 3 and Wayland and all of the support that we will get. And this is not a flash in the pan for the 12, 14 partner companies we've been working with. This is a mission to keep it compliant and keep it aligned to the Tizen roadmap going forwards. The one thing that I know that we need to do in the future is keep it open. Keep it open source so people can monetize and create revenue from having ideas running on this platform. We need to keep it incredibly easy. We've got some fantastic brains in this room, but a lot of the people who have new innovative features for applications don't necessarily know how to build Tizen using an OBS service. They want to be able to download a complete system image and get up and running in 20 minutes. And that's our goal, and that's what we've achieved so far, that you can take that download, flash it onto some hardware, and be developing in 20 minutes. And we're going to keep that going. And finally, we need to keep adding features. People say to me all the time, well, how many people are going to use apps in vehicles? Well, I do today, sometimes when I'm driving, but not often. And Jaguar Land Rover is in a special place. 80% of our user base have smart devices. Most of those connect those to the vehicle. But in the emerging markets for Jaguar Land Rover, Brazil, India, China, it's often not the driver who's the owner of the vehicle. And we sell a lot of rear seat entertainment systems, and they want the systems built in that will run their applications. And let's look 10 years ahead. Who thinks they're going to be driving their car 100% of the time in 10 years ahead? Notice I'm not putting my hand up. We're going to have autonomous vehicles. How much time do you spend in vehicles today? Probably an hour, 2 hours a day? 10 years' time, when we have autonomous private trains, that's a whole new market for the applications, and they will expect the same applications from their smart devices, their Tizen handsets, running in the vehicles. So my message is, let's open up IVI development. Let's make it really easy for all of us to come up with cool new ideas, new user experiences that we want in our vehicles as the car driving public. And let's do it together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matt. It's great to hear the work that you're doing in IVI. And I do want to mention that we have a shiny Land Rover. You may have seen it out in the lobby with a Tizen IVI system in it. So I'd really encourage you to go check that out and see what's already possible using Tizen IVI in a car today. Unfortunately, we only have one car, so you're not going to be able to drive one home. But it's a great illustration of what you can do with Tizen. in an automotive setting. So the last section I want to cover is what's coming next. We've talked about Tizen 2.1 and the ecosystem and the products that will be built on that. We're already at work on Tizen 3.0. I'm really happy to say that we have the initial code for Tizen 3.0 already out on Tizen.org. So we've started the development. If you go take a look at the code that's there now, you'll see that we have kind of the core operating system code, the underpinnings of the platform that's in place. But this isn't the end state for 3.0. This is really the beginning state for the development of 3.0. And we're planning on carrying that out on Tizen.org. So we'd really love to have you come and participate in that. If you're a platform developer, if you're an open source developer, please come and take a look at the code and start participating and contributing. We have a couple of sessions coming up in the next couple of days in the platform track. And if you look for the ones that are tagged with 3.0 on them, you can find out more details of what's going to be in Tizen 3.0. This is really the platform for our products of next year. Think about that as the rough time frame for Tizen 3.0. So hopefully by now, we've given you a good idea of where Tizen is at today and where we're going looking forward. We've got a robust ecosystem in place. The App Store is up and ready for business, ready for your submissions. We have an exciting app challenge, $4 million in prizes for you to compete for if you're an app builder, and a great opportunity to get exposure for your applications. And of course, we have the Tizen 2.1 release. The platform and the SDK are there, ready to be built into products, ready for you to build your applications against. You heard from NTT Docomo and from Jaguar, Land Rover, about the great work that they're doing to bring Tizen into products, with real products coming to market starting in the second half of this year in mobile. And then, of course, I just talked about Tizen 3.0, the platform for next year's products. Initial code has been released. It's there. We'd love to see your contributions and participation in evolving and defining the next iteration of the Tizen platform. Fundamentally, only Tizen makes it possible for you to write an HTML5 application and scale it across a broad range of devices, mobile devices, cars, televisions, and all of these devices in the future. So I really want to encourage all of you, especially the app developers, go get the Tizen SDK and start creating the great applications and the devices that are going to create the world of tomorrow that my daughter expects today. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Mark. And now you guys can indeed go out for a half hour and check out that car. I don't think everybody's going to fit in it. But come back in a half hour and more discussion on Tizen. Thanks.